Good morning, y'all. This is Brother Marquise. And of course, this is the world famous Fireback Radio. And of course, you do know you can find us online at firebackradio.com. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, you can join me on Facebook, uh, probably Instagram, Twitter, and the whole nine. Today, this is one of these shorts that I love doing so much. And I actually had somebody ask me a question. Uh, and to be honest with you guys, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be covering, I will post online onto the Facebook group. So if you want me to if you want to have a chat about any particular situation, put it in the Facebook group chat. Or just hit me up on IG. You can do something like that, and I will cover it. Today is one of these situations where it's just, ask Brother Marquise. And so let me fix the microphone here. Yeah, there we go. So it's one of these situations where it's ask Brother Marquise day to day. So why don't we just get into it? Somebody asked me if I were to talk to women, how can women be more attractive to men? Oh, that would be an easy answer, because a lot of men right now see women as objects, right? They see women as sexual objects. And yeah, that's a bit problematic. You know what I'm saying? That is problematic. So I will start it off kind of like this, right? I'll start it off kind of like something like this. Let me cut these banners off because I'm just having way too much fun just clicking. You know what I'm saying? Just clickety click. And if you're into the room, how y'all doing? All right, so what can a woman do to be more attractive to a man? Ooh, well, let me enlighten you by giving you some quotes as I shuffle through Facebook and some other social media platforms. I'll tell you like this. What attracts a man is this. Ladies, you have to know this. What attracts a man's attention does not always attract his respect. Let me say that one more time. What attracts a man's attention doesn't always attract his respect. Right? Right? And I'm going to come back to that one because there's so much more that I can unwrap there. And I'll come back to that. The other thing is, a godly woman does not need to be test driven like a car, because a godly man knows the manufacturer who built her, and she's quality. Ooh, I can unwrap that one as well. The other thing too is, this is for men and women. Ain't nobody yours until you all are married. Just want to shoot that three. Just throw that on out there. But getting back to this, what attracts a man's attention doesn't always attract his respect. And respect is a lot. And some of y'all are sleeping on respect. just and this is what I've observed over the time, is that a lot of women out here will, when you take a picture, you turn your body all the way around like that. I mean, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Oh man, what are you doing? If you show a man your ass, then ass is what he's gonna want, right? If you show a man your ass, then ass is what he will want. Take it from somebody who knows. Brother Marquis, I'm a man. And when a girl's doing one of these numbers, you got to know, she got to know what you looking at. Hold on. Sorry, man, I had to throw some lip balm on. they don't like some ashy lips. That's a hard life. But ladies, you got to understand, a man is visual, and a man is very visual, and a man is a collector. And if it's easy to collect, he's going to collect it. He may not keep it, but he'll collect it. You heard? He will collect it. He may not keep it. I'm just saying. He will gather that thing up and many more like it. And don't be surprised when you see other collectibles in the grouping. Don't be surprised if you see all of that, because everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's showing him what he wants to see, and he's not gonna tone himself down because everybody's doing it. That then becomes the expectation. So when you are ready to settle down, he is not in the mental space to settle down with you, because you've already given him everything that visually and maybe even physically that he wants. So there's no need to keep it. So he's going to try to give himself an upgrade, and 9 times out of 10, he will get with somebody who is relatively hard to get, because he knows that one is all about quality. You heard? It's about quality. You have to have the brain smarts. And then 2, what man do you know wants a woman that shows all of her cleavage? And I mean butt cleavage, chest cleavage, toe cleavage, skin. No man wants that smoke. I mean, it's one thing to look good, but it's one thing to look sexualized, and then overly sexualized, because now, I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but we live in a porn environment to where now the average, I mean, back in the 80s, you knew who the hookers were just by looking at the shoes, just being how it is. The chicks who want to stimulate a man's mind and his below the belt area, they will dress provocatively. And so what's crazy is right now, in this new time, and I know I've dated myself by saying in the 80s, but nowadays everybody wants to be the hooker. Everybody wants to be the pimp. Everybody wants to be the stripper. But it's funny because everybody wants respect. You can't get respect when you look like a hood rat, when you look like you have no morals. Yeah, you might get 1 million likes on Twitter or YouTube or whomever, but they're not going after this. They're going what's underneath your clothes, if you have any. And you need to understand that there's a big difference between what's up here and what's down there. Men will take what they can get. And if you're given, they're going to take it. And again, ladies, you have to understand that they are not going to keep it. Because if it was easy for him, it's going to be easy for somebody else. Just being how it is. A godly woman does not need to be test driven like a car. Stop right there. First of all, godly women, you need to know your value. And you don't even need to be a godly woman. This is for women, period. You need to know your value. And so you yourself need to slow your own road, because a lot of the stuff that's happening out here is completely unnecessary. I mean, we got a bunch of fatherless kids, and you've got kids by multiple fathers. I mean, sometimes it does happen. It should never happen. I mean, I get it. I mean, sometimes you'll get married, remarried, get another kid. Okay, that's a whole different concept. But I know people who got, 3 or 4 different kids, about 3 or 4 different men. That's not a good look. And then you missed the opportunity to become married to the one who was for you, because you let somebody else drop seed in you. Let me tell you something, ladies. A man will give you as much respect as you garner. If you don't respect yourself, a man is definitely not going to respect you. But everybody wants respect. Believe it or not, that's very key. Everybody wants respect. That's why we're having these wars, because there is no respect. But if you respect yourself, then odds are good that you're going to receive some respect. So that's the pretty much the point of this, is that give yourself some respect. I mean, I don't know why y'all ask me this question, but it is what it is. And people apparently want to hear my opinion, so I give it to you. Fellas, if you're listening to this, don't be test driving women, because they will get themselves all caught up in you, and then you're going to move on to the next. And now they're heartbroken. And you know what happens then? That emotional damage that you just caused is going to stick with them. And people are not smart enough to wash out the damage before they start a new relationship. And a lot of you fellas can attest to this, is that a woman and men will carry on emotional damage done to them from a previous hookup or whatever, and they will bring it on into the next relationship. And so you're sitting here getting all this smoke, and you're like, and you don't even know where it came from. I'm telling you now, it came from that previous relationship, or the emotional damage that was caused during childhood that the person has not dealt with. This is for men and women, because we all carry a sense of, we all carry the burden of trauma, and we carry it on into relationships, and we expect everybody else to kind of fit into our little idea of what a relationship should be. Whereas when we should really just deal with ourselves first before getting into some sort of relationship with somebody. We live in a culture that treats women like throwaways. Women, you need to understand that the culture treats you like a throwaway. Why would you allow yourself to be noted as a throwaway when you are not? When you watch all these videos, you see these women pimping themselves out. When you go on social media, these people want to act like the girls in the videos. And now you're asking me what a man wants. A man wants a woman who respects herself. That's what a woman wants. A man wants. A man wants a woman who respects herself and is respectable. And if you don't know what that is, I just kind of gave you a hint. How's that? Y'all like that? I just gave y'all some smoke. But that's what it is. Now, I've talked long enough, y'all. And I'm turning into a chocolate-coated Dr. Phil. You guys, I don't know why y'all be asking me questions like this, because I will come in and swoop in and I will just kind of smack you over the head with it. But I'll go ahead and answer your questions. And it's okay. Because I go from jazz music to hip hop to everything in between. I have a wide range of thought and processes that not too many people can appreciate, but you all do. That's why you keep asking me these random questions. I'm the king of random. King of random. And I am the king of the socially unacceptable conversation. That's what they call me, at least in my house. And some people don't like it, but you don't have to like it. But you can't stay away from it because I'm telling the truth, right? Now, if you hadn't got on Facebook, on the group, on Fireback Radio, on the group chat on Facebook, that's where I am for the most part. And I want you to like and share this video. And of course, there's so much more behind what I said. One size does not fit all, but generally speaking, what I just told you is actually true. It's all about respect. And you can't be, look, nobody wants an ignorant person. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants ignorance, ignorant. I'll say like, nobody want to be ignorant because there's too much of that already. We want somebody who has a great thought process, who's easy to talk to, who's soft and gentle. What? What about the babies? Ladies, I'm going to tell you something. If you have kids and you're trying to date a man, it's hard for a man to accept somebody else's children, especially if you're in a situation where you have, 2 or more kids, and then those kids come from 2 or more daddies. It's a hard situation for a man who wants to pour into you. And then he has to look at those kids and know that those kids aren't his. The hardest decision in the world for a man is to be able to take on somebody else's children. Because not only that, is that now you have to deal not just with the mother, but now you have to deal with 2 or 3 or more children, and they may have 1, 2, or 3 or more baby daddies. And so now, as a man, you got to go in, you got to deal with all these people and set the record straight. You got to literally plant your flag into the ground. Plant your flag. That's a lot of work. I mean, it's hard enough now with just a woman, and then a woman with a child. And now you got to deal with the baby daddy, and y'all got to have an understanding, because the last thing you need to do is to whip somebody's behind and do it in front of their kid. Ask me how I know, because I had to deal with some of that as well. And matter of fact, I'll tell you a short story. I dated a woman one time. She had how many kids she had? She had 4 kids. She had 4 kids, and she had 4 children. And one of her children was from a previous, all of them were previous, but there was one child in the house that was from her ex-husband's previous marriage. So now there's 4 kids, and then I show up. I had to deal with trying to bond with those children, which I think I did a pretty good job, just to say hello. But then I had to deal with the ignorant ex-husband. There are some streets that I don't want to go down. That is one of them. And I'm just telling you, you don't want to deal with somebody like that, especially when they got an ignorant, because he didn't want to let go. And I'm like, you know what? This is not the fight I'm trying to fight. And this man jumped in my face. And I'm like, bro, I'm not here to beat your behind in front of your kids. That's not a good look. I was younger, she was older, and he was stupid. And I thought about that. And I'm thinking, you know what? That's too much liability here. And I thought I was a good man, but there's too much liability, because check this out. If I get involved with her, that means I get involved with the children. And I heard one of the brothers say this before, but and it's true. But I'll say it again. I can't think of the guy. Can't think of the guy's name. And when I say it, I think you might know who it is. But when a man comes into a relationship and he bonds with children, and let's say if the relationship breaks down, he not only loses you, he loses your children that he's bonded with. So he takes a massive L, because when you bond with the children like that, you have no parental rights, because they didn't come from you. They don't belong to you as a man. So a man risks everything when he gets involved with a woman that already has children, especially if the husband has not passed on, or he's like not out of country, because there's always going to be some static there, unless you can find a way to deal with that man, and that man is cool. And but ladies, don't put yourself in that situation. There's already too many of us that got that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation. Fellas, if you are that father and you have a man who comes in, know your place. That's all I'm going to say. Know your place, chill the crap out. And if the man wants to do right by that woman and by your children, then leave him alone. Be an encourager to that house, because your children will be enriched by that. Because not only now, they have two fathers to deal with, not just one inside the house and one outside the house. And if that man, and let me tell you something, it can work, but it has to be done proper. But I'll tell you like this, ladies, it's hard for a man to come into a relationship and you already got kids. Now, if you're just laying around, that's a whole different relationship than wanting to be serious. If a man wants to deal with you and he loves you and wants to be serious with you, you got to literally do whatever that man tells you to do, because he is the one that got everything on the line. You don't. I think I need to shut my mouth, because I've said too much already. But y'all asked for it. I am the king of the socially unacceptable conversation. You can find me online at firebackradio.com, or hit up the Facebook groups, Fireback Radio. And I will talk to you all sooner than later. Love you guys, man. Y'all stay out of daggone trouble. Let's go to work. Peace out, y'all.